Good evening, this is Rudy Giuliani, and this is America's Mayor Live. So let's get started. We finished the Rudy Giuliani show with Ukraine, so let's start with Ukraine. We haven't finished analyzing it, and we probably never will. This is an age-old debate about whether Russia belongs, whether Russia owns Ukraine, and honestly, it's not about whether Ukraine is independent, it's about whether Russia owns Ukraine, whether Ukraine belongs to Russia. Because they are both originals. If you look at the map, it's undeniably the original spread of Christianity, the conversion to Christianity. I'm speaking very broadly right now, but about a thousand centuries, 1,000 years after Christ, the 11th century was here. This is Kyiv or Kiev, and Moscow isn't shown on this map, but it's nearby. And then they moved here, and the church eventually settled here. And you know, many tsars didn't like Moscow. I don't know if Kyiv ever became the capital of Russia, but St. Petersburg, which is located here, became the capital of Russia. Under Peter the Great, many Russians preferred to live in Moscow, and many Russians preferred to live in Ukraine rather than in Russia. I think the climate is a bit milder, and the agriculture is simply magnificent. At times, Ukraine was called the breadbasket of Europe. It was an extremely productive country, as blessed as Kazakhstan. There are some regions of Russia that are absolutely useless, just like in any other country, I think, and there are some regions of Russia that, are incredibly rich, and Ukraine is the same. And so there are many reasons, including, if you look at it on a big map, on a large European map, you'll see that it's a form of protection. The real hostility which has always existed was not necessarily between Ukraine and Russia, it was between Poland and Russia, and there is a reason for that. Ukraine, to a large extent, and Russia follow the same religion, Orthodox Christianity. Poland is Roman Catholic. Since becoming Orthodox, Poland has mostly tried to convert them to its faith. And I think they regret not being the first to arrive in Kyiv to make it Roman Catholic, especially under the leadership of the Jesuit order, which was formed around the 17th century. All kinds of invasions took place here, and they had a certain degree of success. In Ukraine, which was made up of about 10% Roman Catholics, maybe even more Catholics, but of course not as many as Orthodox Christians, and in Russia, maybe 5% Catholics. So this was a major source of disagreement between them. The end result, which we could move on to, the end result is that the debates here will be about three things: territory, security guarantees, and rights to mineral resources. Territory means whether Russia will give back any of the captured territory, and this is the territory they have seized. The dark area on the map, which can be called a direct and complete route to Krym. Here is Russia, here is Krym. Deep down, very, very deep down, Russians believe. Russians think Krym is theirs. They think that Ukraine belongs to them, but even more strongly, they believe that Krym belongs to them. And the regions they took from Ukraine are largely populated by ethnic Russians. And when Ukraine was not occupied by Russia in any way, these regions traditionally voted for the pro-Russian Ukrainian candidate. So these places they've taken are not entirely foreign. We will want to take some of that back. First of all, to have successful negotiations, it seems Putin didn't get all he wanted and has to make concessions. Secondly, if Ukraine holds Kursk, they'll need to offer something to get it back, as Ukrainians took it in a highly opportunistic way. And finally, we are really interested in getting back a certain region of this country because there is a certain region of the country here that has mineral resources. So with 2/3 of the mineral resources, we won't have any problems. We'll get at least 50 of them located in the main part of Ukraine not yet captured by Russia. Unless something incredible happens, well, 1/3 of them are hidden in the area you're looking at. Thank you. And I'm sure the president keeps saying that Putin must return the territory. I'm sure they're looking at that territory. This, mainly but not entirely, the Donbas region and Donetsk. They have a proportionally large amount of minerals that we need to effectively compete with China and dominate in technology. So, aren't you impressed by the incredible level of Trump's strategy and the deals he makes? It's so far beyond the abilities of the fool who was here before him. What I just told you, I'm going back to the time when I negotiated with him on the crime bill in 1994. He recalled one thing: a beautiful girl walked in. That's what he remembered. But for him to remember all of that, even if I had described it all to him like this,